Come on. I'm trying not to dance too much. My split is splitting. Welcome, world. Welcome to the show. Another great day. Here to help me unpack it all is none other than Michael self. Mike, say hi.
What's going on? How you doing, Candice?
The baker himself.
I love this look. Now, I told you cuts. You can pull a cut. And I love the look. You got, the old school little Jada Pickett. And it's
Not
old
the
school because the new
old
school,
school.
yeah, I don't know what she got going on now. So
She ain't
I
got
can't
no
put
hair.
you. No. But she look crazy now. So I like
Like
the
a
old
little
Jada Pinkett.
alien. That's so wrong on so many levels. But I'm glad you're here with me. How you feeling?
I'm good. Thank you for having me back.
You
I
got
love
your
coming.
leather and your boots, and you just ready to hottie on hoe in.
Well, I see you were trying to match me. You in my window looking at me. That's what's happening.
Okay, I'll take
You
it.
trying to?
I'll take it.
Okay,
I'll take
okay.
it. Yeah, this was the situation. See, this is what happens when I take my wig off to wash it, and my husband comes home early. I don't get my wig back.
Oh.
My husband hates the wigs. So it's been a fight in my house.
It's a good choice though. Like I say, you look good.
I
you look
do.
good.
Thank
yeah.
you. Don't let him tell. Don't let him tell. Don't let him tell it. But man, I'm so. Well, I can't tell y'all why yet, but I'm so excited about this show. I say I'm excited about a show every day, but this one in particularly, and I'm gonna try to contain it and keep myself together. But before we get into that, make sure you don't go anywhere because that's later on. But right now, there's so much news that's going on, so much stuff that has broken. Actually, a big story right before we came on. So we are gonna get going. Let's start with the breakdown and we'll get you caught up. The Goon Squad back in court this morning, and they are serving more time than they thought they possibly could have. So this 6 array of flowers had to face another judge this morning, and they are serving between 10 and 40 years. So this is Beck McAlpin, Jeffrey Middleton, Daniel Odeki, and so here's the thing that people don't realize with this case. So they were already sentenced, their federal sentence. Today they received their state sentence. So they are looking at time behind bars that they are not coming out anytime soon. If you guys remember, the 2 black men that they accosted in their home, beat them, tortured them, kept them in there for hours. This is the result of it. And I think the state finally got it right. They didn't get off. The officers didn't get off. We always feel as citizens that we're on the other side of the law, and we don't matter. I think they told us this time we did.
I'm like the queen in Alice in Wonderland, off with their head. Because this is crazy. This is ridiculous. I feel like when situations like this, as you say, it was handled properly, but situations like this, I don't really like, because I feel like these are people that were in high school, they got picked on a lot, and all of a sudden they became a police officer. I feel like every time something like this happens, that's how I look at them. And as far as, like, I don't know, I think it's just stupid. I think it's stupid. It's real stupid. It's crazy. Yeah. So when a situation, my bad, y'all, I just kind of got thrown off. But no, it's triggering because I actually grew up in a city where I was thrown against a police car at the age of 16.
Really?
So like, yeah, stuff like this kind of just really, really get me hyped. And I kind of lose my words because...
You getting choked up.
Yes. I lose my words because I feel like I didn't have anybody there. So just to be able to see how the justice system were able to do that, the right thing for the situation, I'm excited about it. They actually deserve double time.
They deserve, you know what? I honestly thought that they were going to get the death penalty. I mean, the torture was so bad, and it was so severe. And to watch them in court this morning, they had asked the judge for leniency, and the judge was like, absolutely not.
Yeah, as they should.
Not at all.
They shouldn't.
And to see 6 officers called the Goon Squad.
Childish.
I mean, how bad are things getting that you can, as law enforcement, just go into someone's home, hold them at will, torture them, sodomize them, abuse them and feel like you're going to get away with it.
Yeah, but this just shows what's wrong with our court system now. It's like, men like me and everybody else around, they get caught up off of people like this. This was an intentional act. So I'm happy that they got the time that they got. Like I said, they deserve more.
And I really feel that they were shocked in court this morning. I think they thought that once they got the federal sentence the first time that was it. But no.
Yeah.
You're done.
Yeah.
And they were asked to give up their police certificates. So they will never, ever again be able to serve as an officer. Well, hopefully you're not getting out of jail at all, ever. Yes. But
I hope other states do the
take
same
ear
thing.
to
Absolutely,
it.
Absolutely.
So right before we came on, there's another shooting, and this happened in Philadelphia. This happened just hours ago as major police surrounded an area, and this is coming right after the end of Holy Month, which is today, Eid, and they feel like it's not related to the celebration that was going on in Philadelphia. However, they're not sure. They're still trying to gather themselves together. So 4 people are currently in custody right now. One person was struck by a car running away from the gunfire, but multiple people were shot. Now, they're saying that this is not a terrorist act. They ruled that out. I don't know how you ruled that out so quickly, but it is, once again, a fatal shooting. And so happens that it's at the end of Ramadan where everyone was celebrating.
Girl, have you ever been to Philly?
Oh, my best friend lives in Philly.
Listen, I don't know what's going to happen. Philly, I don't know whether it's to blame the gangs. I don't know blame the police. I don't know if it's a terrorist act. I feel like this is just Philly. I feel like we have a bigger situation when it comes to the actual guns. So, like, what are we actually doing with that situation?
Right.
Like, what did we start at?
I think the thing about when it comes to Philly too, so this year alone, Philly had 77 shootings. Now, they say that's down 33% as opposed to last year.
But was it gang related?
There are all types of homicide. Now, Philly, the metropolitan area in Philly is definitely known for gang violence.
Correct.
Because even when I go to see my friend, we don't even go downtown like we used to. We used to always go downtown, South Street. You go shopping, you go to dinner, you walk around, and you just can't do that now.
Yeah.
It's not the same. How often do you go to Philly?
I've only been to Philly maybe about 2 or 3 times when I was flying for a little bit.
No, did you fly over?
No. I actually went in.
Over?
No, I actually went in. It was an intentional visit. I went to my friend's house. We sat on a stoop like I was from Philly.
Not the stoop.
You know, that's what we do in New York, Philly, where we sit on the stoop.
Was you good times?
Yeah.
You giving me good time
just a little bit. But no, we went to Philly. I mean, Philly was a good time. The thing is, I like a little danger. I ain't even gonna lie. I like a little danger.
Okay.
But at the same time, it's scary. It's scary because I don't know whether I'm coming out alive. Truth be told.
Right.
Truth be told. And I shouldn't have to go out somewhere and feel like that.
That's true. But, you know, Philly is so inundated when it comes to gun violence. They just don't even know what to do with it themselves.
Yeah, it's a normal thing. They tell me all the time, they be like, oh, we're accustomed to it. They be like, oh, if you go over here, you might get shot. If not. And they just say it like it's normal.
It's it's because it's normal.
I'm like, that should not be normal.
It's normal.
That shouldn't be normal. I got to wear a vest every time I go to Philly. I just want a sandwich.
I feel like I got to wear a vest now. Anytime you even go to the supermarket, it's sad. But it's out there. You know what I mean?
But this is our world now.
It is. So Delta Airlines, they've decided to, okay, let me unwrap this slow. Because I don't agree with any of this. Delta, stop. So they're going back to the old system of when they actually used to just do zones, okay? Remember before, it was a couple years ago, they started to change it. Now they're going back to that old number system. But here's how the system goes, okay? So pre-boarding is first class, okay? That's zone 1. The zone 1 in comfort zone. Zone 2 is comfort zone. Zone 3 is the main cabin zone. Zone 5 through 7 is basic economy. So you're gonna segregate so see what's gonna happen? You're gonna be sitting at the airport. They're gonna be like, the basic people, you can load now.
But the thing is, I get it. So you know I used to be a flight attendant.
Was you everything?
Yes. Yes.
You Jamaican?
Yes, just a little bit, a little bit.
Okay.
So I get it. So the thing about it is, the fact that they even got to switch back to something as simple as this is crazy. But to me, it makes sense because when people get to the airport and in the air, they lose their mind. They lose all sense. So you got to simplify and be like, hey, number one, come up. Hey, number two, because what happens is with the operations, timing is everything. So they're trying to get everybody in. Every minute counts, and because that's money. So once they're trying to get everybody in, and you tell them, hey, this person come up, it's still a whole nother crowd of people still trying to come up. And it's like, I just said this person. So I think what they're doing is trying to simplify and just say, hey, number one, come
I don't agree.
Come here. It's money. It's a money thing.
Let me tell you why I don't agree. Because I feel like the back of the plane should always board first. Because you're out of the way, okay? You're out of the way. Your stuff is put away. I'm first class. You don't have to lick me with your bust me eye open. I don't have to, unfamiliar sense walking by.
It's an experience.
I think it should. No, that's not an experience.
Because
I think it should be the other way.
First class service.
I'm always the one with the last bonus zone because I'm always on a budget ticket. And I'm fighting to get through.
That's the issue.
Excuse me.
We got to bump you up. That's the issue.
Bump me up when you give me a pay bump up, but I'm at the back of the plane. Excuse me. I'm the one hitting everybody with
I promise
my
you, once you get that service, you will change your mind. I promise
Listen,
you. It's working.
I'll fly first class when I want to be bougie and cute, but when I'm on a budget, that budget ticket looks really good. You're just going to get slapped with my bag as I go down the row. And then a lot of the times you get to your row and everybody's bag is on top. I just think the whole system is antiquated.
Again, that's why I got to simplify it. 1, 2, 3.
No. Okay, guys, we got to take a break, but don't go anywhere. We're going to be right back with Unfiltered.
Hey, man. Candice and Kris show. Let's go. Come on. Hey. The Candice and Kris show. Hey, man. The Candice and Kris show. Let's go. Come on. Hey, man. The Candice and Kris show.
Welcome back, guys. You're reaching us just in time for Unfiltered, and I have an amazing guest with me. But before we even bring her out or say anything else, I need to backtrack a little bit so that you understand exactly what was going on. So if you remember last year, 2023, Governor Ron DeSantis decided that he was going to suspend State Attorney Monique Worrell. It was unjust. He was unlawful in doing so. And it caused an uproar for people to fight in all directions, and it caused an uproar in her to continue fighting. But before we go any further, take a look at her response to that.
Good morning, I think this is the moment we've all been waiting for. If we're mourning anything this morning, it is the loss of democracy. I am your duly elected state attorney for the 9th Judicial Circuit, and nothing done by a weak dictator can change that.
Trailblazer, visionary, relentless advocate for justice reform, none other than Miss Monique Worrell is here with us today, and we're going to unwrap all that is going on. Welcome to the, you're so far, I just want to embrace you. How are you?
Well, I'm well, thank you.
Life has been lifing.
Life has really been lifing.
Well, you look rested, so that's great.
I'm not rested, so I'm glad that I look that way.
You
That
do.
means the makeup is doing its job.
I think it's the Jamaican, but that's another story.
Yes, then there's that.
But it's great to have you. So I just want to jump right in so that I have more time with you. So the last time you were a guest on our show, we spoke about the journey and how everything unfolded. Where are you now in that journey? Tell the people.
So thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure to be with you.
Yes.
Right now, I am, hard and fast back on the campaign trail.
Yes.
I filed for re-election back in March of last year. So I
Right.
didn't just get on the campaign trail, but the
Right.
campaign is now starting to heat up. We've moved through the holidays and we're, into the new year. We just closed out our first quarter of fundraising and raised about $61,000 in the first quarter. So it's really about raising money to be competitive in this race. There
Right.
are currently 4 people in the race. There are two Republicans, an independent, which is the appointed state attorney of the governor.
Right.
And then myself right now. I'm the only Democrat in the race.
Listen, running again for Attorney General, for state attorney, we are all here. We remember, and we are just rallying around you. So congratulations on that.
Thank you.
And it's funny because we were just saying how quiet it's been since Ron DeSantis and that whole thing happened. So you have been just quietly chipping away.
Yeah.
Just working away.
Yeah. So, it was stunning, even though, as I said in the video, the moment we have all been waiting for.
Right.
I knew it was coming.
Right.
But the actuality of when it happened was really something. It was life-changing. What many people don't know is I was suspended without pay.
Right.
So, you talked about law enforcement in one of your previous segments. When law enforcement actually commit bad acts, they are suspended with pay.
Right.
And they get to go home and collect a paycheck while the system works itself out.
Right.
I was suspended without pay and also without any bad acts.
Right.
And also prohibited from privately practicing law. So the only profession that I've known for the last 23 years is the practice of law.
Right.
And because I am still technically the elected state attorney, because I was suspended and not fired,
Right.
I can't practice law privately. So, those good Jamaican roots, we don't just lay down. Right, we're going to try to do whatever we can to make things happen.
Exactly.
And I opened a consulting firm, and I've been speaking and consulting.
That's
and,
awesome.
That's what I've been doing over the last few months.
That's awesome. So, what inspired you to get back in the fight? Even though you've never really left it, but still to get back in there after everything, it still took a lot of tenacity to do that.
So a few things. It's really important for people to understand our democracy is at stake.
Yes.
Right? As I said in my speech on the day of my suspension, today we mourn the loss of democracy.
Right.
Because when an elected official can come in and completely disregard the vote of the people and yank the elected official out of their seat and appoint one that is not in alignment with the values of what the people voted for,
Right.
we have to mourn democracy. Nearly 500,000 people voted for me in 2020.
Right.
Nearly 500,000 people. And what the governor did was he came in and he said, I don't care what you want. I know better than the voters.
Right.
And by the appointed state attorney taking that position, he too said, I know better than the voters. And how ironic is it for someone to be sitting in a seat that represents law and order while sitting in a stolen seat.
Ooh. And being okay with that.
And being okay with that,
Being
and having
okay
the
with it.
audacity to say, I'm going to ask the people to retain me in this stolen seat.
And we don't know you. We don't know you.
And whatever you'll find out about him in the
Right.
upcoming months, the most important thing is this. He was put there by DeSantis.
Right.
He answers to DeSantis.
Right.
I answer to the voters.
Right. Which is what we want because we put you there. So that's where we need you to go back to. Huge difference. So what is your vision for the change in justice as it relates to the current democracy? Because that was a slap.
Yeah, so again, this is an extremely important election year.
I don't think people understand
I
how
can't
important
emphasize
it
it
is.
enough. And I'm not saying that because I'm on the ballot. Yes, I'm on the ballot, but there are so many other important things on the ballot, right?
Right.
Abortion is on the ballot, okay? So thank God for the advocates who pressed through to
Right.
ensure that we will have an opportunity to vote on a woman's right to choose. And that is so essential and it's so crucial, and it's kind of been a dividing factor
Right.
because people think, well, I don't believe in abortion and I don't believe that people should get abortion. But the reality is this. When I was 40 years old, I was pregnant. And that, for anyone who's been pregnant over the age of 35, you understand that that is a geriatric pregnancy. It's advanced maternal age and all of the negative things that they place on that type of pregnancy. And a few weeks into my pregnancy, I found out that my baby was not well. And the doctor said, you know, you should really consider having an abortion because this baby isn't likely to make it to full term. And if they do, then the baby's not going to live. And my husband and I went back and forth. We also found out that it was a little girl, and we have a house full of boys. So we wanted a little girl more than anything in the world. And we talked about it and we prayed about it, and ultimately we decided that we would keep the pregnancy and we'd carry her as far as we could.
Right.
And it was a very difficult decision for me every day, knowing that I was carrying a baby that was not intended to live and that the doctors didn't think was going to live. And I did carry her to term, and she was born, and then 3 weeks later she died.
Oh, wow.
And it was devastating. It was so difficult for my family, for myself, for my husband, for my parents, for my older son who waited all his life for this baby sister.
Right.
And I tell that story not for sympathy, but for people to understand that if I was ever in that situation again, I don't know that I would choose to go and carry the baby full term because of everything that I experienced in doing that and how devastating it was to carry a baby 9 months and then have the baby die.
Right.
But whatever I decide, that should be between me, my family, my doctor, and my God.
Right.
And the legislature should not be involved in those types of decisions. Those are very personal decisions that are already extremely difficult
Right.
for the family that's involved.
Right.
And that's not a place that the government belongs.
It's not, and it's funny that you brought that up. We can go in that direction, and it's a direction to go in because just today, President Trump was asked a question by a reporter on the tarmac in Atlanta, and they asked him very specifically, if the bill comes across your desk, will you sign? And he said, absolutely not. He's leaving the decision of abortion to the states. Do you think that he is now backing up and saying, hey, I want no part of this because Arizona just signed one of the most ridiculous abortion laws in? So is he just saying now, like, I'm just going to stand back?
So he's absolutely backtracking, but what
Right.
people need to understand is the history of this and how we got here.
Right.
And we are here because of Trump's decisions.
Right.
Trump intentionally appointed judges to the Supreme Court that would vote for overturning Roe v.
Right.
Wade.
I remember that,
And
2016.
That's right, and that's ultimately what they did. They overturned Roe versus Wade, and that's why the states now have the ability to implement these totally draconian abortion laws. Right? So he's the reason we're here.
Right.
It was his Supreme Court that got us to the place we are. So he's absolutely backtracking because he realizes how unfavorable this
Right.
position is, and
Right.
how women all across the country are coming out and saying, we want our rights to choose.
Right.
There is not a man in this country who should be able to tell us what to do with our bodies.
Exactly, especially when you're talking about rape and incest. You are forcing a woman to be re-traumatized, re-victimized all over again for 8 to 9 months. A man can never carry that long. You know what, it's sad. You have a book coming out. We didn't even get to discuss it, but I'm gonna have you come back on. It's called Targeted, The War Against Black Women in America. I think this is timely and it's so needed. I know you have it that's coming up, so you're gonna bring some copies back for me.
I will.
We're gonna talk about it in length.
Okay.
I cannot thank you enough
Yeah,
for continuing the fight
of course.
and coming on here to talk to me about it. I love it because it's so needed and the timing is right, and you're gonna be back right there in the middle of it all.
Thank you so much.
I
for having me.
appreciate you.
All right.
Thank you guys. That's our show for today. I appreciate you. We will be back tomorrow, same time, same place. Bye, y'all.